We gave Putin no excuse to blame this on the West or to blame this on NATO. We made clear that we were not involved. We had nothing to do with it. This was part of a struggle within the Russian system, but it's still too early to reach a definitive conclusion about where this is going.
President Biden taking a firm stance that neither the United States or its NATO allies were involved in the recent Russian armed rebellion by Prigozhin and the Wagner Group. But speaking of Wagner's chief, where is he? The Belarusian President Lukashenko says that the chief, Prigozhin, arrived in Belarus on Tuesday, but we have not seen any video. Maybe he should have stayed away from some open windows. Who knows? Joining me now to discuss is former Moscow and Paris correspondent for the Wall Street Journal, Craig Copetas. I hate to laugh, but like, I don't know. Maybe we're going to see, oh, he just tripped and fell outside of that window. That's like the Russian way, no?
Absolutely.
And now now the Kremlin, they're not giving any comments, whereas before they said they were the ones that issued that statement saying that Prigozhin all was forgiven and no charges would be filed. And we do know that General Sergei Sergovin, the deputy commander of the Russian group of forces fighting Ukraine, he's apparently been detained. I mean, how much power has Russian President Vladimir Putin lost since this attempted mutiny? What does this mean for him? I mean, some people were saying this was a false flag. Now that you've seen kind of things play out and they've settled down a little bit, what do you think happened?
Well, Lydia, Putin hasn't lost any power. Call it what you will, an attempted coup, a mutiny, or, a dinner theater production of Putin and Prigozhin. All of this has done nothing to end the violence and the ethnic cleansing in Ukraine. Now, you want to take everything that you hear right now with a large pinch of Novichok, including probably what I'm going to say. The one conclusion that you can believe is that Putin's fate, Russia's future, is going to be determined on the battlefield of Ukraine. And if Putin should fall, there is no Mikhail Gorbachev or Andrei Sakharov or any Russian liberal leader who will come in. Russia remains a country that is run by gangsters. So this problem is going to go on for quite some time.
And since last week's march to Moscow, I mean, I feel like it's been longer, but I don't know. Putin's forces have increased their attacks in Ukraine. We've been talking about it a lot. This is the aftermath now of a Russian missile hitting a school. Ukrainian officials say 2 innocent lives were lost, 6 more people hurt. I also saw some video that came out yesterday in Ukraine, people preparing for a nuclear attack. This is very frightening. God forbid Putin were to launch a nuclear attack. We're talking about World War III. How, God forbid that were to happen, but how, there it is, there's the video. What do you think about this? The fact that you're seeing this nuclear war. Could Putin do something like this? Is he this evil?
No one really knows, although the consensus from the sources I have in Russia who describe this whole situation very colorfully as the devil's jigsaw, believe that that's not the case. He wouldn't go nuke. What we have right here, right now, is it's a money story. It's a money story. As of October 1st, for instance, in reference to your saying, the more attacks on Ukraine, as of October 1st, Russian soldiers are being given a 10.5% pay increase. 10.5%. That is huge. That's going to give them a lot of incentive. What you hear privately when you talk to Ukrainian military and intelligence officials is that they're going to have a damn tough time, Lydia, winning this war without NATO air cover. Wow. And this is the question that is not asked a lot in Washington, I am told. The Ukrainians are running out of guns and ammo. The Russians can create more. They have more capacity for this. And it's not very diplomatic for a Ukrainian official to go on TV and say, please give us air cover. Right. But that's what they need. Now, as far as these rebellions you're seeing in the Kremlin, Russia's history is pockmarked with a long, long history of senseless and doomed rebellions against the leader. And in fact, amazingly, in the Russian language, there's a noun to describe that very activity. But Putin's not going anywhere. Has he been weakened? I think you can say he has. But he's still very strong, Lydia, and he's getting stronger because he's still getting money from the West.
Right, because they're basically the gas station for all of Europe, right? In energy and oil.
Precisely.
Craig, real quick, we're running out of time. I know I can only give you 30 seconds. The State Department released a scathing after-action report on the Afghanistan withdrawal. They're blaming the Biden administration for failing to foresee the mayhem that took place. Meantime, we've heard Biden saying that it was an amazing thing. You know, are you surprised by this?
Well, I will say this, having covered numerous wars, that America, regardless of which party is in power, hasn't been very good at exiting or entering any war, at least since I've been covering it. You know, the magnitude and chaos of a war is difficult to comprehend unless you've actually been in it. And relating what you just reported to the situation in Russia, I can tell you that that information is going out as propaganda over Russian television. Putin likes to see quibbling in America like this. He loves it. It increases his power. Your listeners can take that for what it's worth, but that's how he plays this stuff.
And the trans agenda, too. He plays it against America.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Craig Copetas, for all that you do. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. See you, lady.
See ya.